So this week we did Father of the Bride. I picked this one just because I'm a dad, and I think that any parent that sees this movie will totally relate to so much of it. And I also think that you guys know what I'm talking about because you've seen your parents go through this. So who wants to start?
I enjoy this movie. It's cheesy. I love Steve Martin. He kind of reminds me of my dad. And I think the reason I like this movie is because it reminds me of my dad. And it gives me like the homesick feels. I felt really sad that he missed all those important things, like the father-daughter dance. And he didn't get to enjoy any of it. And
yeah.
He did it to himself.
How do you do it to himself?
He only had 2 valets. Franck told him to get less socks.
No. So I don't know. I enjoyed it. I think it's a good chick flick. I think it's more of a father-daughter kind of thing than like a romance story, but I enjoyed it. I will watch it again just to get.
Was this your first time?
Oh no, I've seen it a bunch of times.
Okay.
Yeah, but I hadn't seen it in a long time.
So supposedly I've been told by other friends whose kids have gotten married that I should start watching it religiously, like for about 3 months before the wedding, so that you cry it all out. And I did sob by the end, just plain simple sobbed. Like it was just awful. But anyway, okay, Steve. What do you think? Was this your first time?
I've seen it many times. It's a favorite of the Lakioma household. Obviously, my father has. I have a sister, and the writer. Her name escapes me at the moment, but her
Nancy Meyers.
That's right. It. She did like It's Complicated. Mm-hmm. Something's Got to Give. So like she knows how to like write these movies. So that being said, when I first saw it as a kid, I remember loving it because who doesn't love Steve Martin? And I just have to say this before I say anything. Martin Short deserves a statue, okay? That man is comedic genius, okay?
Yeah. Well, he said, it's perfect. It's perfect. We'll change everything. It's perfect. We'll change everything.
And there's so many great little subtle touches in the movie, comedy-wise. But so now I'm a little older. I'm in my late 30s, and I'm watching it, and I am married, and I've seen my sister get married, and I've been to a lot of weddings. So now I watch it, and I say, I forgot who picked it, but it makes sense that Eric picked it because this movie is full of RPP, rich people problems.
I know.
Okay. Do you realize that the wedding cost over $150,000?
No, more than that.
Being that I'm the only Jew here, 250 a head. There was 549 people. It would have cost $137,250. The fact that I did the math is so pathetic Jewish.
I did it too, though. But Italians do that too. Italians always go to weddings and go, "How much you think it cost a head?" Yeah, we always do that.
Oh, that's so funny. Jews do that too. It's like, so what do you think he dropped on this one? Oh,
how much do you think that cake was, huh? Man, how much was this haul? We always do it, always.
That's
because you give. This isn't my bit. This is Sebastian Maniscalco, but it's like you put X amount in the envelope, and if you feel like you didn't get that with the dinner, you're like, I'm gonna take a couple 20s out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but that's not me. I don't want to. I'm not stealing from Maniscalco. Anyway, so fully RPP. Like, oh my God, guys! Like, if they did this for real, it would be a much middle. I'd like to see a middle class Father of the Bride. There was nothing middle class about. Like, look at that house.
It's the same movie, but without swans.
But they didn't try to hide that they weren't rich. I don't think.
No.
Right.
Yeah, he was more just like a flustered guy who didn't know how much.
Yeah.
He wanted to have the wedding at the steak pit, which I still use that line that I don't think you're supposed to put the word pit on an invitation.
That's funny.
I get it.
What this movie is for like dudes, like guys, it's like an Impossible Burger. And you give it to somebody and you go, oh, this is good. And then you tell them, did you know that's not really meat? This is that kind of movie. You go, here, watch this, dude, and you go, this is kind of like a chick flick kind of thing. And you go, oh, I thought it was about a dad and a daughter. You go, no. It's kind of so I thought this was Emily's pick, to be honest with you. he said a lot. This is the last thing I'm going to say because this cracked my wife and I up. So when Diane Keaton is coming down the stairs at the end,
Yeah.
you know, he goes, I knew I wasn't going to remember what she wore that day, but I'm going to remember what she made me feel or something. I said, of course you're not going to remember. She's wearing some old lady bullshit. Like, look at that. Did you see that with the shoulder pads? And then even the wedding dress that she was wearing. I'm like, could you be more like matronly?
It was 90s.
Yeah.
That was so the 90s.
Yeah.
But listen, it's a good movie. It is endearing. The in-law stuff I really related to because I have a, you know, going to in-laws who are very like doing well for themselves and stuff like that. And you're just kind of, and we always open up and we start snooping. Come on, don't lie. You snoop. Everybody snoops, especially in the bathroom.
So when he had to, you know, those dogs, I mean, when he went under the table and said, I'm leaving, I'm relaxed, and I'm leaving to the dog, he was classic Steve Martin. And then that whole thing where he's falling out on the pool area and Diane Keaton has to watch it. That was some brilliant comedic acting on both their parts. So I just have to tell you the most parental thing about this whole movie is, you know, when she comes home from Europe and then she sits down at the dinner table and she tells him, you know, I met a guy and we're getting married and I'm engaged, right? And then when he looks at her, she's like 4 years old in her little princess outfit, and she's saying that. Okay, so, you know, Matthew's 32 now, and I can't tell you how many times I stare at him and I think, oh my God, like he's a grown man. And then like he'll say something to me and I go, you know, I remember when your ass stuck together. And he's like, I was 2. That to me is probably, I think every parent has that when they look at their grown children and you still see that little kid, you know, whose ass stuck together. And now the whole world knows. Let's hope this goes viral. It would serve him right. Okay, and I'm sorry, but I'm always amazed when we're watching some of these movies, like when we did Legally Blonde or when we did Clueless, that some of the sayings that were in there are just like the lines. Like, you know, I still use all the time whenever I'm like trying to like tell somebody about something current, I go, welcome to the 90s, Mr. Banks. You know, it's like, it's become a thing there. Okay. I saw one very like, you know, straight moment there when he was trying on his tuxedo and, you know, hey there, pussycat. I just thought, okay, only a straight man would try and salvage a tuxedo from 1972. I mean, a gay man is called Tom Ford and Armani on speed dials. I don't know about you guys, but every time that Frank was on, he stalled to sing, like stalled to sing. That Chuckon, you know, I mean, it was just, it was just too much for me. Excuse me, but 8 hot dogs and 12 buns, why do they do that?
That was good. That's like a stand-up bit.
That's what I'm thinking too, you know? Also, when Steve Martin gives his daughter the gift, what was her wedding? Oh, the cappuccino maker?
Espresso machine.
And after his father just bought them a car, okay? And remember, he didn't want to do it because he felt like, you know, I'm giving her a, you know, friggin' cappuccino maker. And then she looked at him and she said, I couldn't love anything more. And I just thought that that was just a real... If you weren't crying before, you should have at least cried then, because her delivery of it and the way he accepted it was just, I get like goosebumps just thinking about it. It was such a pretty scene. So, okay, so that's my sappy comment. I love this movie. I will always love this movie. And I just wanted you guys to see it. I didn't know you'd already seen it or whatever, but I thought, you know, so. All right. So, pie chart?
Pie chart.
I would split with Eric what Steve doesn't want.
I'll take like 15%, I guess. Like, you know, I wasn't like, oh my God, oh, Father of the Bride, I forgot. But I was like, oh, and I laughed. I literally, and it was mostly Martin Short. Yeah, I'll take 15%.
Okay, so he's got 15. What does that leave us, 85?
Do you want me to take the rest of up to 50? Can I have, what is 50 minus 15?
No,
35. I'll take the 35 and you can have the other 50. Is that
Thank you. Yeah, I put him through college. I deserve at least 50.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I like it.
Well, glad you loved it. All right, cool. So, Steve, I think it's yours next time, right?
I got a doozy. I got a doozy.
One
you guys probably won't even finish.